Ready? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Ranger Mario, and today I have the amazing person, Lydia from Lycan.
Hi, I'm Lydia. I am a new agent with Keller Williams Memorial, but not new to real estate. I've been investing in real estate since 2018, established my own LLC in 2021, and did a flip in Houston, and that is what brought me to live in Houston.
Nice. What's the best part about living in Houston?
Besides meeting Mario, I would have to say I haven't found much that I really love to do yet. I do like the weather because in Chicago it is freezing, super cold. So right now I am pretty much in heaven, having to deal with 70-degree weather and not being back at home with snow currently today.
Nice. What's the important lesson you have learned so far in real estate?
In real estate, to basically not be impulsive, and to really investigate and do your proper research when it comes to hiring people, getting permits, just really who you're working with. A lot of people are out there in the real estate world who say they know how to do things and really don't know how to do things. Or, you know, they're a general contractor and they're like, yeah, I know how to do everything, when that's not really like a good thing to have. You want somebody who is really specific and great at that one job, whether it be electrical, plumbing, HVAC, that type of thing. So as far as lessons, my biggest lesson was that I did not thoroughly research or investigate the people that I hired to do my flip, and I lost out on a lot of money and was stuck with that project for 2 years, so it was a brutal lesson.
Did you always wanted to break into real estate?
Always? Yes. I would say I've always been pretty passionate about real estate. First, it started with like decorating my houses, my apartments. Well, not houses, apartments. I would definitely be into interior decorating, and then I started interior decorating for a couple years and did that, and then that's when I really grew passionate about it. Did a couple flips with my ex, remodeled a house, and then I did my flip here in Houston, and it just made me even more passionate about being in real estate, in all areas of real estate, not only just flipping, but also selling and helping people stay in their home or get into a home that they want.
Right. What has been a big challenge?
A big challenge? I would say not knowing enough people here in Texas, not really being able to find the networking, I guess, the people that I can properly network with when it comes to investing in properties. So yeah, I would say that would be the biggest struggle right now for me, is just trying to find where I should play with my money and where I should put it and with whom, and where I'm going to make the most of what I can put out there in real estate.
So you manage a lot of things, balance work and life. What's the best time you work? Your best?
Like work as far as work?
Yeah.
With life and work and balancing it? I would say more morning, but I mean, I'm constantly working throughout the day. I mean, I think I go in spurts of like, I can't do this right now, and I put it off, and then I pick it back up, and then I have like so much energy to knock it out for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and then I'm done. And then, you know, I might end up staying up all night trying to do something or figure something out. So I don't think that there's really a specific time that is better, but if I would say there's one time that I get most stuff done, it's in the morning.
So you come from Chicago. What's life like?
In Chicago?
Yeah. Where else?
Life in Chicago is great, minus it being cold. No, it's not that Houston is not great. Houston is great. There's a lot of lovely people. and a lot of a lot of opportunity with real estate in Texas compared to Chicago. Chicago is very competitive. It's a beautiful city. It's amazing, but very cold. I would say the biggest thing that I do love and enjoyed about Chicago is that everything is walkable. I didn't need a car like I need a car here in Houston. You know, I can't walk to CVS, which is like 2 blocks without looking like I'm homeless. So yeah, that's just the big difference. There's just a lot more to do day in, you know, all day long, you know, besides just the I don't know. It's just everything is very spread out in Houston, I would say. So it's very hard to find things to do inside of Houston. If you want to go do something, I've gathered that you have to drive like an hour away, and it's basically not in Houston.
Okay. What's your morning routine like?
Chaos. So typical morning routine, I get up around 5:30 and 6:45. 6:45 is really pushing it for me because that's like on the late end because my son, he's 8 and he has to be at school by 7:20. So yes, it's a struggle bus. So I usually get up. I try to sneak into my bathroom so my daughter doesn't wake up because she's 1 year old and she's still in bed with me. So I brush my teeth. I, you know, do all that fun stuff. I try to sneak out into the kitchen. I try to get her plate ready. I go and wake my son up, get him ready for school, have him brush his nasty little mouth, and get his water bottle full, you know, filled for school and his lunch made. And then typically ready to go, argue with my daughter, you know, back and forth because she's whining and she doesn't want me to leave, and it's pretty cute but upsetting at the same time. So mornings can be chaos and a lot of fun because it's really amazing to have children that love you and don't want to see you go to work, and they don't realize that you really are just going to work to give them the best life possible. So it's truly bittersweet.
If there's like an occupation you would like to try, what would it be?
An occupation. Well, an occupation that I haven't tried. I'm pretty diverse. But I would say my lifelong occupation that I really wanted to do, besides be a track star, was to be an attorney. I really wanted to be an attorney. I thought that I would be a great attorney. And it just didn't end up working out. I ended up being a young mom and pursuing other ways to manage life and function, to be a great mom, but also be independent and successful.
Cool. What other hobbies do you have?
Hobbies. I really enjoy reading. So on my downtime, I like to read a good book. More personal growth books, books that are more beneficial to work, life, speaking, you know, just overall better personal growth. Obviously, real estate, time managing, money. Besides reading, I like to do outdoorsy things like hike. I like to swim. Really just be outside. I like to be outside. I do not like to be inside. That doesn't mean that I like shopping neither. I do like clothes, but I do not like to spend like my weekend inside the mall or inside the restaurant or, you know, any of those things. I really would rather do something outside, zip line, go fishing, go to an aquarium, go to a museum, go walk around, go do something.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
What's the common myth about your job of expertise?
That basically I don't have to do anything. I'm just pretty, and you know, we just sell houses, and that's just how real estate works. But in reality, it's not how real estate works. At least it hasn't for me. My looks have not gotten me far anywhere. I've really had to take some life lessons and growth. And I think that the big misconception is that I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know what I'm doing. I am experienced. I may look young, but I am 31 years young, and I'm very wise. And I would love to just know more and grow more into real estate. And given the opportunity and the chance, I know that I can do a lot of magical things and it'll be great.
Has there been anything that you didn't expect from life?
That I didn't expect out of life?
Yeah.
I don't think I expected like a lot of the stuff out of life, but I'm super grateful for it. I'm in a position now that I prayed for 5 years ago, you know, and I think that 5 years ago I was in a position that, you know, I was in a better spot that I was in years before that. So I don't think that anything that I have gone through in life has truly been expected, but I think that the unexpected is when you have the most growth and discover your ultimate true self and what you really want to do and how to be. And you just, you know, I love the process and the journey.
Right. What's your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory. I have a lot of good ones and fun ones. I guess let's just speak holiday time since it's Christmas time. So around Christmas time, my grandma was like super, super fun. And we were raised by my grandma. And so we had like a lot of kids in our house, like me and my sister, my brother, and my stepdad. And like, you know, she's just like, our house was like so much fun. You know, she had like her kids and the grandkids and like cousins and everybody over all the time around Christmas time. Mm-hmm. So her fun, unique thing was before Christmas, she would basically give us like a hat, you know, she would have a hat and she would have all these names in there and it would be Disney character names. So like, you know, for the boys, it would be Aladdin or Tarzan or whatever. And for the girls, it would be Pocahontas, Cinderella, you know, Belle, blah, 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 right? So we would pick our name so then that next morning we knew who we were and we would unwrap our gifts so that way nobody would peek and nobody knew what they were getting. So, yeah, it was just a fun childhood memory to wake up in the morning and to know, like, oh, my God, Pocahontas, okay? And then I'm going underneath the Christmas tree and finding all these Pocahontas gifts that were mine. And it was just a cute little childhood memory that I appreciate because my grandma's old and I don't see her because she's back home and I'm in Texas. And, yes.
It's nice. Do you ever get homesick?
All the time. I do just because it's just me and my kids out here. And it's not really just homesick. It's just knowing that I can't just drive to my family's house. You know, they're not within reach. If anything were to, God forbid, happen, that I do have to get on a flight. It's going to take me 5 hours or however long to get there. So the idea of being homesick, yeah, that does, when it comes to mind, it's just more of the what ifs if something was to, you know, come to be ill with one of my people that I love. Of course, I mean, I miss food and I miss being able to walk everywhere and do all that stuff. But honestly, the reality of it is home is where my kids are at. So even when I was just back at home the past week, I love home, I love it, but home is not Chicago anymore. Mm-hmm. Home is here in Houston with my kids. So, yeah, I can't say that I'm homesick anymore.
Right. I'm going to say this. I lost it. What's your favorite productivity hack?
Productivity hack?
Yeah.
Like what gets me going?
Sure, you can put it like that.
I don't know. I would say it really has to be a really good conversation with somebody early in the morning that gets my creative mind going and really just makes me just think of something totally different and just push through my day a lot harder with more ambition. Or a good podcast definitely boosts my productivity, or even books. Like I said, if I'm able to read before I get into work in the morning, which I often like to do before my kids wake up, a lot of that is super inspiring, or listening to mini podcasts to just really give me an open mind on how to go through my day.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's the most important thing about having a great relationship?
What is the most important thing about having a great relationship? I would say the most important thing about having a great relationship is having great communication and understanding, and also understanding that not everybody is the same and that everybody has their own opinions, and the way that one is for one doesn't mean it could mean something different than it is. I wish that people would just give themselves grace and give other people grace.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's a very complex one because yeah, in relationships it's a lot of give and take, I think. And if you are not open with one another and you're not communicating or you're not letting each other know boundaries or just each other's beliefs, or again, if you're just not honest with each other or trying to take each other to the next level or elevate each other, not just be a boulder or wait on somebody, it's a lot of things to make a relationship work. And I think that communication is honestly the foundation of having a strong relationship.
Okay. Is there anything you're watching right now?
Anything I'm watching? I am not watching anything right now currently. I'm reading a book right now, and it's Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. When I do watch TV, it's more like documentaries, and
What?
you know, they're like murders and shit like that that people like are just, you know, infatuated with. So yeah,
Okay.
that type of thing, or just real life documentaries. I don't really watch much TV unless it's Disney. Then that shit's on all day.
Oh. Okay. Are you currently working on any projects?
I want to work on a project. We were just looking at a project, trying to buy into a project. Mm-hmm. And the HOA was not reaching back out, not being responsive. So this week we are going to try to find another project to get into. And what I'm really looking for is something that I can possibly put a tenant in, fix, flip, put a tenant in, and hold on to long-term wise, or be able to build a fourplex or such.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I would like to, for obviously a generational wealth, be able to have residual income, but there are a lot of wants that I want and whys to the things that I am doing in real estate, because I would love to have a nonprofit. And so for me to do that, I really need to put a lot of things into play to make it happen.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve is probably when people are not being honest. I don't like when people are not being honest, especially because I feel like I know when people are being discerning, and it's just not fun, you know? I mean, it's just, just be honest, and being honest not only is beneficial to everybody around you, but to yourself and the way that you move along through life.
Mm-hmm.
I guess somebody eating their boogers too would be like a pet peeve, but that's it.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
Why you throw that in?
Because I saw somebody doing it in the car when I was driving in traffic. Did it like perfectly too.
Ew.
Yeah.
Disgusting. And so we have talked about making a change in society. Would there be something that you will look into in the near 5 years or on the long term?
As far as changing society?
Yeah.
As far as me being able to change society, I don't think that I can do that by myself. I think that it takes a lot of forces. But if there is one thing that I would like to do, it is to be a force, but of resources for people who don't understand that there are plenty of resources out there when it comes to not only buying a house, but to staying in an apartment, or to planning to get a house, or to plan to invest. You know, maybe you want to stay in an apartment, but you are able to buy a house and you're able to get a tenant in there and you're able to make money off of that. I would love to give people those resources, people to know that they have options if they are going through a pre-foreclosure, if if they haven't been able to pay their taxes, if any of those things, if they've lost their job, just to be able to give them the resources. So if I can say I am going to change society in any way would be just being able to be more resourceful to anyone, druggies, to to people with mental health issues, to people who just really need a chance, to people who have just gotten out of prison, to to a lot of things, and I believe that it can happen.
What's your to-go place for vacation?
To-go place? Well, I would have to say the Dominican Republic has been a joy of mine the past 2 years. I have been fortunate enough. I lied. I didn't go last year, but I went the 2 years prior to that. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a good time. The people are fun. They're alive and happy. And the weather's great. And, what's not to love about an ocean and, beautiful people, very cultured, very in tune with just life and having fun and experiencing. And, yeah, no, the DR, great. I love it, and I would go back in a heartbeat.
Why?
Why? It's just great. It's just great. I'm telling you. Have you ever been, Mario?
Been to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, way different. I'm Puerto Rican. And, yeah, our people are just very humble and chill and like to work and just go home. And the DR is very much just alive. They love to dance and party and just have a good old time. And there's just a lot more to do. I think that the DR might be a little bigger than Puerto Rico in the sense of being able to do more things. And then they have the Congo Bongo in DR. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I think they just have a lot of stable places versus we do in Puerto Rico.
Oh, what about
Puerto
Cuba?
Rico's fun. Cuba, I've never been.
Oh, why not?
Just never have been. Just never. And I don't even have family in Cuba, but I would love to go. Puerto Rico's fun, but only when I go with my family. Like when my grandma and my grandpa are with me and we go to Puerto Rico, or like my sister, that's great time. But when I go by myself, there's just not much to do because I get more joy out of like watching my grandpa trying to pick like a coconut from the tree, trying to rig like like some knife and machete on a long stick, and then my grandma really like drinking out of the coconut, them, finding a sugar cane and cutting that up and just making food from like that stuff is super fun in Puerto Rico to me. But for me to go alone, it would have to be the DR. That's it. Cuba, I would love to go. Colombia, I would love to go. All those places I would love to go. One place I can't go to is Europe because then I feel like I want to come back.
Okay. What's a favorite trip you ever taken?
Favorite trip? I've had a lot of favorite trips, but I would say my most favorite trip was when I went to Scottsdale the year of COVID. I had went with my auntie, with my sister, with my nephew, with my sons, and it was a lot of fun. We went hiking, we did a lot of excursions, with the ATVs, and just a lot of fun things, and it was just great to have my kids and my aunt and sister and everybody all together because even though I lived in Chicago at the time, my sister still lives an hour away, so we don't see each other like that, and then my aunt lives in New York. So we all gathered together and we were able to have a fun time. And it was around Christmas. So we were there for, I think, a week. And minus my sister crying and having to go home to her husband.
Why?
Because, I don't know, separation anxiety.
Funny.
But, yeah. Yeah, so I would have to say that was probably my favorite trip just because we had a lot of bonding moments.
Is there any you regret?
I don't have any regrets, no. Are there things that I wish that I was more patient about and I wish I would have listened to the people who have said these things and I just chose not to and do it anyways, and it's like, damn, I had that aha moment, like I should have listened. They were never regrets just because I feel like all of those things were destined to happen to me and we're supposed to be in alignment with who I am today.
Okay. That's nice. Is there anything you want to add?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
What do you want me to add, Mario?
I don't know. Anything else?
Like what?
I don't know. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, rangermario.htx. And follow my podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, mario.fm. See you later.
Bye.